Hello, welcome to the channel. If you've landed here by accident, you're welcome. If you've got here on purpose, you're still very welcome. This is Learn to Drive and Thrive with Paul Riley, that's me. And if you are a learner driver, if you are a full license holder, if you are a trainee instructor, maybe even if you're fully qualified, you might drop by here and pick up something and think, oh my God, that's really helpful. I could learn that, I could use that, I could adapt that. Equally, if you find, oh my God, I don't think that's that great, then write to me, tell me, give me some ideas of how I could do it different, because I'm always open to suggestions. I'm really delighted to be able to bring you somebody who I've wanted to capture and have a conversation with for ages. My good friend Rimit Sedani, driving instructor in Leicester, driving instructor in his own right, business owner in his own right, but more importantly, stellar all-round good guy. I mean, you know, you want your own little army of people you can call on, and he's my general. Now, you're hopefully familiar with some of the format. The wife did the first one.
Yep.
So we have a...
Hello everyone, thank you for the introduction, Paul, much appreciated.
So what I'd like to get out of today is for you to cast your mind back to the days when you were a learner, and what it took and what it meant and all the ups and the downs it took to get to test success. Go and pass the test. Then you're a trainee driving instructor. What was that like? I'm going to ask you about that, so you to cast your mind back. What did it feel like when you were the one trying to work out how to do it? Then you get through, and now here you are helping others. So we got to cover all that but, and here's the but. This is the challenge I put in the beginning, right? So let's get this thing restarted. You get 90 seconds to tell us how you got to this point in your life in any way you want. The world record is 3 minutes. I won't say.
Hopefully I won't beat that.
When you're ready, in your own words, tell us.
Okay, started back in, I think it was 2013 or something, when I started my training. It took me a year passing the part 2 test and part 3 test as well. I missed it by 1 point in each role play, because that's the test that back then was different.
PSTs?
Yes. The exam is the role plays. So the second attempt I passed and was really excited. I've got the license now, because I didn't go for the trainee license, went straight for the part 3 exam. Then having the first few students and the first ever pass, especially with the first attempt as well, gave me the extra confidence that I know what I'm doing is correct, and I'm training to my students is correct. And since then I've grown, done extra training on sand, anxious anxiety to students, how to deal with the special needs. So the training on top has made me grown stronger. The experience I've gained now of the past decade as well, so it's also made me grown stronger as well. And no student now I find difficult.
Now.
No.
But then.
But in the first year, I'm getting different students. I won't say they're difficult, but I found that they've given me different experience and different challenges, which I rose to and took them on board and got them through the driving test. I've had students say that to me. They actually, I thought I never could drive. I never thought my driving test, I was going to give up. But you kept on pushing me, and you got me my driving license. So when I get the different feedback as well, or and also see them independent doing the maneuvers, the roundabouts, get past the mock test, gives me the confidence that they're ready for the test, and for them to pass the test, them to pass the test as well.
So you're going to share some stuff with us today. So if the learner listens to the things that you've got to say, the experiences you've got, the must do and the you must not do, if they take that on board, what will they get out of today, hopefully?
That's a good question, actually. Hopefully that they see that as individuals, how we work, what we put into our own lessons to make the student comfortable, relaxed, crack jokes, fun atmosphere. You learn quicker than a strict atmosphere. So gaining the experience, and for the students to see that actually what kind of instructors they should also be looking for as well.
What about the wannabe trainee driving instructor? If they take on some of your experiences, the road you had to walk and the things you learned, what would they get out of today? The things they maybe could do, should do, shouldn't do, what might they get out today?
Hopefully they should persevere in their own training. I didn't have the privilege of actually sitting in the back of any an experienced driving instructor's car. So to see how they do their lessons. So if any of the training instructors wants to perhaps sit in someone else's back and they drive qualified driving instructor, that'll be a good benefit for them to see how different driving instructors are dealing with their lessons. They can pick up the good points and then also start using them for themselves. Persevere. Part 3 is not easy, but if you persevere, and you'll get through the test, and then the rewards you'll get after passing after getting part 3, after passing part 3 and getting your ADR license, when you pass your own students, the feedback they leave, the review they leave for you, positive reviews for you, they leave behind. Then their recommendations that they have, they've recommended you to someone else. So you're not looking for students all the time. So it goes around in circles. So it is a rewarding job, extremely rewarding, especially when they start they pass the test. The last reward I get from the examiner to hear the pass. So I would say don't give up, persevere, and things not to do, not to perhaps see so much on the social media, perhaps of negative things or what could be left behind. Look at the positive things.
What I love about you, right, is that at a point in time, Christ, when was it? 10, it might be 10 years ago.
It was about 10,
About
11 years
10 years
ago.
ago,
10, 11 years ago,
When
yeah.
I was out trying to learn how to do this, and I felt very much on my own. I didn't really know what I was doing, and yeah, I had some books and stuff, but it wasn't going to get me where I need to go. We had the same trainer,
Yes.
and he told me, you want to ring this guy, and he gave me your number. And I remember I was standing in that kitchen and I rang you and I was like, hello, yeah, you don't know me, I've been working with our guy, and I need some help here. And you were like, right, yeah, okay, what do you want, what do you need, do you want to come sit in my car? And it just this flood of like help came when you had no reason to do that. And I just thought, bloody hell, because you could say that we're in a world where 42,000 people are your competitors, in a way, because you're all independent business holders.
That's correct.
And we're not one big happy family brotherhood. That isn't true. It's like, I don't expect every electrician to wave to each other when they drive past in a van.
Correct.
But we as driving instructors think somehow the other guy who's competing in our market, in a way, should be our best buddy. When
we should be supporting each other, and there are drivers sometimes they just look the other way. I'm like, that's fine, not to worry. But the end of the day, we had the same trainer. Because we had that same trainer, and I've not recently passed my test as well. So I think it's just been like a year or so, and I knew what I went through. I know the support someone needs to get through the part 3. Luckily, when I was in training, our trainer paired me up with another instructor where he was training me and him together. So we paired up, me and Kevin. We used to meet up on weekends. We'll swap roles. I'll be the instructor. He's the student, and vice versa to get through our part 3, which we both did. But at that point, you were by yourself. You didn't have anyone else to support you.
Yeah.
So I thought, whereas I had Kevin bounced off each other by just supporting to get to our part 3. So I thought, no. You can sit at the back of the car, pick up tips, it will help you, because I know part 3 is not easy, and the pressure you're under as well, because you've only got 3 attempts to get through. So the sooner then if I know I didn't pass my first attempt, then the second attempt, then you get even more pressure. Luckily, you got through a second attempt. I was not going to the third attempt. I've been even more pressurized. So supporting anyone, helping anyone, doesn't hurt. So if anything, if I've supported someone to get their achievement, to get the goal and achieve the goal to become a driving instructor, there's nothing wrong with that. As I said, we are a big family of instructors around the country. Majority will wave each other and say hello. We're part of a family. You got the minority that don't. Not to worry. When you think back to being a learner, way back, how long ago was that? Ooh, 2013, about 13 years ago at least. That's a long time ago.
How many tries did you take for the L test?
First attempt again.
No. I took 2.
You gained your own habits, don't you, though? After passing, I passed on 17, when I get a test, we get on no habits, but I know my trainer at that time says, no, go back and do some more driving. You go back and do something, you need to make mirror checks more obvious. You need to do this, you're now become instructor. So I had to go back and do it on my own driving until he said, okay, you're now ready for your part 2 test. Theory was interesting because I now did the theory when I passed my driving test. I passed in February 96. The theory came out in July 96. So as a driving instructor to have 100 questions of 50, I was like, oh, this is nice. I passed on that as well. So at first, I'll get 98 out of 100 on that one. So I was pleased with that. But again, keeping up with the theory knowledge as well since then as well, with the updates from the DVSA, sorry.
So you passed first time. Do you remember how many lessons you might have had? How long it took?
For the part 2?
No, you as a learner, way back when.
Oh, back then, yeah, that's first time, yeah. I had about 2 or 3 minors. Can't remember. It was about 2 or 3 minors. Can't remember which maneuvers I had though.
Do you remember your driving instructor? How many did you have? Driving instructors, how many did you have?
I had 2 because, true story, my uncle passed away, so I had to go to this funeral because doing my lesson on the weekend. My instructor was giving some lesson to someone else. He had a heart attack and passed away. So, and that was my dad's cousin. So the following weekend, I was at his funeral. I went to my friend Michael. Do you need any drawing instructors, please? I've got my test booked in exam in December. In February. I mean, this is in December now. I didn't get my test. So he referred me his driving instructor. So I went. I can't remember his name. I went with him. He was fine. So unfortunately, I had 2. It was my first driving instructor. My uncle, he passed away, but. Then I carried on with my friend's driving instructor. Then I got through.
I kind of had 3. I had one local guy who was just terrible. Numberless one was enough for me to go. Because I used to play football for this team. One of the guys, I heard he worked for BSM, and I liked him. And I thought, oh right. So I thought I was going to get lessons with him, but he was like a pen pusher. So he had nothing to do with lessons. He's like, oh, no, you're just going to ring my office and I'll send you someone. So he sent me somebody who was all right, he was good, but he was prone to illness. And so they would send somebody else.
So you didn't have the consistent same instructor.
So I'd come out and there'd be a blue Metro instead of a red one, and I knew it weren't going to be my guy, which is all right, except, I remember clear as day, right? The first guy, he was we did low lessons, and then this guy turns up in a different Metro or whatever. He goes, come here. I want to show you something. And I'm thinking, oh, was it show and tell me? He opens the boot of the car. I'm thinking, are we going to look at a spare wheel? Are you going to show me where the light bulbs go? He had a boot full of trainers. And the first thing he said to me was, do you want to buy some trainers? He didn't ask what my skill level was, what I wanted on the lesson. He wanted to sell me bloody trainers.
He's doing some additional business as a driver to see if he can make extra money.
Maybe that's why BSM brings some money, because you've got to buy some trainers. I don't know.
I like that, BSM brings some money.
Do you remember your driving instructor in a fond way, or a shouty, point at you, slap you around the head with a ruler way?
My first one, my uncle, shouty way, but I didn't something I'll get, so I remember to get shouted at a lot. My second instructor, he was fine. He never shouted at me, he was polite, but I was used to the shoutiness. So.
Is there a phrase or a saying they had that stuck with you forever?
Can't say, that was such a long time ago. You know what? It's just next 16th of February this month. It's been 30 years since I passed my test. So I'm racking my brain. I would like to say that they would make me check my mirrors a lot.
My guy I would see what we would call a meeting or anticipation situation. I'm coming down the road, cars are on my side, I look up the street and go, I'll get there before him. And I used to give it some beans to get through it and wait in the next gap. I knew the gap was set. I knew the gap was there. And he said to me, stop accelerating into trouble. And I say that to this day to people. It's just
that's true. That's nice. I like that. Stop accelerating into trouble. Yeah.
I took 2 tests, and I remember the feeling of failure. Do you still remember the feeling of winning, the feeling of passing?
I couldn't believe that I passed my test because after that, they ask you some questions at the end of the test about how they comes the theory test. They come out, congratulations, you passed. I'm like, oh, okay. Until I go home, slept over thinking, yeah, actually, I have passed my driving test. But because I was the only one in my family, because I'm from Kenya originally. So everyone, my parents, my brother, they all had their license changed that time from Kenyan to British license. So I'm the only one I'm the only one in the family who's taken a British UK test and passed on first attempt as well. So I was proud of that.
Nice. In terms of, think about the modern day learner and all the experiences you've had, and try and put your learner head on now, not your driving instructor head on necessarily. 3 things you'd say to them. Do this. This is part of your success. If I was going to give you 3 pearls of wisdom, it would be these. What would it be for your learner, modern day learner?
Be calm and collected. Scan, plan ahead, and deal with things effectively. Expect the unexpected. Every driving, and no driving instructor can give you all of the driving experiences before you get ready for your test or once you pass the test. There'll be different driving experiences that they'll be getting after passing the test. Hence I say, be calm and collected. If you're in not a calm collected mode, you'll be making irrational, incorrect, inaccurate decisions. Being calm and collected, scanning and planning ahead, and staying and watching around you, stay one step ahead. It's more than 3 words, but
that's all right. Is there anything you'd advise them in regards to the rush to book a test? Because I meet people and have them sat in the car on day 1 and their test is already scheduled. Like, I love ambition, but where are you going to get the hours in?
Ideally, they should wait for the instructor should be telling them you're not we want to book your test now because you're at a certain stage now. It's driving test 5-6 months away. You should be ready by that time, including passing your mock test as well. So those who booked the test ready, I would say be ready to postpone your test. If you're not ready, then if you'll be ready to postpone the test, then yes, you can join my driving school. If you're not ready to postpone the test, you're not going to be flexible with me, then I'll wish you all the best with another driving instructor.
Fair enough. So you can't help everyone?
No.
And you are okay with meeting somebody, albeit Facebook, WhatsApp, whatever, getting their story and thinking, what you need I can't give you. And I'm not going to lie to you now, and then in 3 months' time you go, why didn't you tell me you couldn't get me passed by June? That you've got enough experience, I guess, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
You've got enough experience to know you need about this much, and your plan doesn't have that amount of time or that amount of practice. So I'm not going to lie to you today and go, yeah, sure, let me take your money, and then tell you later that I can't help you.
Open and honest is always the best policy. So if they're saying that, oh, I'll go to a test book by this time, you assess them for the first lesson and say, you know what, you're not going to be ready for it. Or actually, do you know what, I can push you and I can get you ready. Let's go for it. But if after assessment says no, you can't, you're not going to be ready for it. You need X amount of time, X amount of lessons. Okay, yes, I'll have 2 lessons a week, so one to get you ready. They're being flexible, and like I'm being flexible with them to help get them ready. Then yes, we'll work together as a team. This is teamwork between me and my student to get the license, and we'll achieve that. But if they don't want to work with me and work together as a team, then they're not. As I say, you can't help everyone.
No, quite. And there are 3 things you would advise a learner not to do. Don't do this. What would they be?
Don't rush. That's the first thing I see. I see so many people can't turn outside streets. They're always rushing. Be strict with your lane discipline, especially at roundabouts. The amount of times that people are going on, it's like roundabouts. Be strict with the lane discipline around roundabouts. And what's the question again?
So 3 things that they should avoid or not do.
Avoid, not do.
So what about, for example, private practice? Should they be practicing with the person who's got terrible habits? Is that helpful?
No, because they'll pick up the bad habits as well. So if they're doing private practice, they have to make sure that whoever they're practicing with is a fair, reasonable, good driver, reasonable driver at the very least. But if that's not, then if they're picking, if they're watching their parents or someone else, the brother, sister, or another sibling, friend, they can start picking up the bad habits. For example, cutting corners.
Physically cutting corners, you mean?
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah, cutting corners, cutting the peel off roundabouts, especially on the left, and when it's supposed to be going on the right. So you're going to have lunatics out there who are always impatient and trying to do rush all the time. Especially when you see the delivery drive, sometimes there could be a target. How many deliveries there's to make? There was sometimes always the rush, parking in the middle of the road.
So I guess what I'm hearing is like you want the right person being your supervisor and driver, not anyone.
Yeah.
And with the best of intentions, mum, dad, granddad can just show you a sea of bad habits unknowingly, and that driving's a learned behaviour.
Not only that as well, that they will not pick up on mistakes.
Yeah.
We are trained and we have got the qualification to spot the mistakes and correct them, and making sure they are not repeating the mistakes. Good example I'll give you. There'll be lack of observations when start doing practice. When come back in, you're not observing. Check the mirrors again. Have to have a chat about that. Sometimes there'll be say, oh, my dad does this. Meeting situations. This is tight space. Your dad might be doing that because he's an experienced driver. He's taking high risk. But to get rid of his standard, that is not safe. You need to give right of way.
How many times have you had a siesta from somebody, like 2 months off, 3 months off, go back to uni, whatever, then they turn up again and you watch them drive and you think, I'm sorry, is this a different person? Because they've been practicing with someone who's let things slide, or they've just observed some other bad habit, and now you've got to undo it all.
Undo it all, it will cost that sort of even more money to get it corrected. So sometimes it's once you find a good instructor, I think you should stick to that good instructor. Not start finding deals like, for example, some driving schools offer very cheap prices, discounted prices, which actually undermines good experienced drivers who are professional and deliver high quality lessons. So if they are trying to find a cheaper deal, fair enough. But if those who then stay with the high quality instructors who deliver good tuition, they'll be having less lessons. They'll be getting ready for the test sooner as well, and they'll be passing, and they'll be giving us good reviews as well. It goes so. As they say, like there's an electrician, for example. There can be good electricians, there'll be not so good electricians as well. So once you found a good electrician, for example, then you're going to keep hold of the electrician. So if there's any work you need in the future, you keep on calling that same person guy again because you know you trust the person. Same thing with like in the driving instructor. Once you find a good driving instructor, stick to the person so you know that you're getting good quality lessons, and that you're the right person.
It's that saying, isn't it? Cheap, fast and good. Fast and good isn't cheap. Cheap and fast, and it's that whole idea that you want to look at the quality. Yes, there's a price difference as well, but you also want to look at quality. I know that some of the instructors they come like, oh, you went there, this offer this deal. They come to me like, you're doing no observations at all. One of the shocking story I had from a former student, because he came to me because his friend was with me. His driving instructor didn't make him check road signs. On the same road as his last driving instructor he was swimming. He never told me this is a 20 road. I was doing about almost 30 on a 20 zone in his car. He never told me this is 20 road. That's
shocking.
There's a reason why someone is cheap, and there's a reason why someone's immediately available.
Yeah. See, the driving instructor is speeding on a 20 zone. So, as it say, cheap and cheerful.
And that, cheap doesn't necessarily mean terrible, but my experiences tend to be that people, if they don't charge what they're worth, they've either got no faith in their ability, no track record of performance, or there's something else that's sometimes maybe not kosher, like maybe they're not fully qualified, or maybe their badge is expired. Or
not only that as well, they have no shows. Sometimes they don't turn up to the shows, or they turn up late. They pay for let's say a 2-hour lesson. They only end up delivering a hour and a half lesson because they came late. They're notified they're running late. But with us, they get a consistency and the reliability that we are not going to be not showing up. We're going to be showing up for every lesson, and unless we have had to cancel it for mechanical breakdown or something.
What about the wannabe trainee driving instructor? What 3 bits of wisdom would you give them on their journey?
Do the training with a good the audio register, perhaps ADI, who can get you to get through the part 3. If you get the chance to sit in the back of any driving instructor's car and pick up some different good ideas and tips, that'll be very valuable. And have mock tests.
As in your performance as a trainee, have someone test you.
Mock test before your part 3, so you get an insight what the part 3 test is going to feel like. You're going to get insight how you're going to deal with the exam pressure as well. Because I know the exam part 3, I know I got quite nervous, especially my first attempt. After doing my first attempt of part 3, like I know what the part 3 is about now. I know it's about now. So the second attempt, I did quite well. So, but if I had a mock test as an example before I did the part 3, that would have prepared me better.
What 3 things, if you could think of 3, that you encourage a trainee driver instructor not to do?
That's a harder one. If they don't get through, for example, part 2 or part 3, especially the first attempt, don't give up. Try again.
What about if they fail, and they fail significantly? Is there that old adage, if I do what I've always done, I'll get the result that I've always got? So you've just had a shocking part 3 first try. You maybe haven't invested in the right amount of training. Do you just do what you've done before, or go and get some actual proper training from somewhere that turns around poor performance?
If you've had a shocking performance in for the first attempt, which is sorry to hear about that, but if that is the case, then perhaps you should look at a trainer who will be more qualified and stronger in training you to pass the part 3 on second or third attempt, hopefully on second attempt. But if you've had this is like I had only 1 mark off, so I didn't know. I was happy that I can 1 mark off only from each role play. I can get to the next attempt. But if I didn't. So as opposed to a shocking performance, then I would have changed the trainer.
What about buying materials? What about investing in study aids and books and that kind of thing? Or is it can you just get it all off the internet and then suddenly you're going to be great, or do you really have to put some work in?
I think if you get any training aids, that'd be great. But because I was going through a driving school that time, but being driving school, but that went best after that anyway. But they provided me the training materials, so the books, the online courses, then also the online courses which I did and completed them. So if you had the training materials, that'd be good. If you don't have the training materials, then you're going to have to search online. I know grade 6 supplies have quite information about for driving instructors. I'm not sure if they're a good bet, but looking online to see what training materials they can get, that'd be good, because it's like we have the training materials now. Our folders don't have our visuals in our lessons. So if they're without any training materials, I'll be struggling to see how they will be able to deliver the lessons as well.
Not working from structure or templates.
There's no structure, templates, yeah. It won't be coordinated, so if they don't know what structure to follow, the training materials, if they're having visuals in front of them, it will prompt to them. Actually, this is how I need to structure the lesson, structure the introduction as well for the topic.
Cars. So, what was your dream car?
As a driving instructor or for personal use?
As Rimit, the driver guy, just the guy that drives a car. What was his dream car?
Before I was a driving instructor, I said I would have a BMW or an Audi.
Did you ever get one?
Many years ago, yeah, I had a BMW for a year. Then I had to sell it. because I was moving out of Leicester, I couldn't afford to leave, pay rent, and also have a car as well. But I did have it. But now I just found them big engines, fuel thirsty.
So you said driving instructor. Let's cover that then. What's your dream tuition car if money were no object, and it's got to work as a working car? What would you use?
I've had a Polo before, so I might get a Golf or an Audi A1 or something.
German.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you got a different dream car now? Rimit, the guy that drives a car, he got a dream car now.
I've got a driving school car at the present moment, which I'm happy with at the moment. So I don't want to keep two cars. I just have to have one car at the moment for the driving school. But hence I thought my next one, if I get a Golf or an A1, Audi A1, that'll be more personal and for driving school use as well. But this one I've just chosen it for the driving school use purpose only.
What do you enjoy most about driving?
Getting to different places, especially going around on country roads, different scenery, different views, and it can be relaxing as well. Actually, not in traffic. You're like, oh, but if I don't know, if you're on a country road, and then it'd be quite relaxing.
What do you like least about driving?
Impatient idiots on the road.
If you could say in one or two ways how driving has changed from you now versus you then, what's changed? How's it different?
It's different now because before I was driving with not having the qualification and the training to be a driving instructor. Right now I'm more vigilant. I'm scanning well in advance, doing lessons also when I'm driving as well. I'm more aware of what's around me as well than compared to before.
Road trip. You can take 4 people, living or dead, on this road trip. Who would you take? You can fill up this car with 5 people. You can take 2 if you want, but 4 maximum. Who would you take? Living or dead?
I'll take you, Paul.
Nice.
I'll take your wife Tracy as well.
Nice.
Hello. She sat in the background listening to us. Being our IT technician today.
Who else would you bring?
Ooh.
Anyone famous?
Russell Howard.
Okay, that's the comedy sorted.
Yeah. What's her name? I forgot her name. She's a comedian as well. But I'm terrible with names.
It's alright.
But it's another comedian now. I forgot her name. She's also on the TV scene. I'll bring her as well. So I'll have 2 comedians and then with both of you in the back as well.
Nice. Where would we go? Anywhere in the world. This castle's going to land there and then that's off we go. So where would it be?
Amazon Forest.
Okay. What car would you take?
I think we're going to be a big 4x4 for that. Range Rover.
And what's on the playlist? You get to choose. It's like your tunes.
Dance music.
Okay.
Funky house. Chilled music.
Your final thoughts in terms of you say 3 things to a learner. What would you say to them?
In the lessons, if you're making a mistake, don't worry about it. We'll correct you, and until you get it right. So learn from your mistakes. If at any point you feel any anxious, stressed out, let the instructor know. We'll figure it out anyway, but share so that we can help you to relax and get through to your driving test.
What about the wannabe driving instructor? What bits of advice would you give them?
Have a good trainer, number 1. Have a good trainer, number 1. Complete any online materials training that you have, and definitely go to the mock test before you have your first part 3 attempt.
So you operate under your own flag at your own driving school.
Yeah.
You do work for a national franchise company and help them out, and they give you work and you do some work for them. So if people want to find you and go, right, this is the guy I want. This is the guy I want to help me. Where do they find you? How do they get hold of you?
I've got my own website, Rimit Sedani 88.co. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Google website as well. They can just Google search my first name, Rimit, and then my last name, Sedani. I'll come up straight away. So Instagram.
Okay. Well, I'll put your website address in the comments notes so people can go straight to you directly.
Thank you.
Do you manual, auto? So
It's a manual car. I only have one car that's manual.
Mhm.
It's petrol. I've got a nice Honda i20 light blue color, and I've had that for about 3 years now.
Listen, I'm delighted you decided to do this. I wanted to do this. As soon as I thought I'm going to put a channel, who do I want? Who do I want to get to talk to? And that was, you were on the list, man, right at the top.
It has been a pleasure and it's been an honor as well for you to invite me. So thank you very much.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this. If you find content across the whole platform that you like, it would be great. But it's really, really helpful if you'd like and subscribe. We will see you on the next time we're on. Bye-bye.